Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Genesis, chapter 5, verses 1 through 32. And so this is an overview of an account of Adam's family line. Some of this we've already heard, but we're reminded that God created humanity and made them in his likeness, which means that they have an image of God in terms of their intellect and will and spirit, that they have also an understanding of God, a desire, a joy for God. And they were blessed by God. And then Adam had his own son, and he was made in his likeness, not the likeness of God, but the likeness of Adam. And because of the fall, that image of God has been broken, and the son, the children that Adam gives birth to, are created in the image of a sinner. And one of the things is that sin has brought into creation, right, the immeasurable wrath and unavoidable punishment of God brought upon all humanity because of sin. And this really comes to the end of every paragraph says, and Adam lived, and then he died. Seth lived, and then he died. Enoch lived, and then he died. When Kenan had lived, then he died. All along, right? And then he died. And so this is the generations, and there were no generations before Adam and Eve, right? There's no generation before them. They're the beginning. There's no time and there's no passing of people. But now with sin, there is the passing of people, and there's a grief that comes with that. And, so as Adam dies, he dies a sinner. Seth dies, he dies as a sinner. And as these generations go on, and they're having children, but their line is being passed on, right? And then we get to Enoch in verse 21. Enoch, after 65 years, becomes a father. And he walks with God faithfully for another 300 years. Now, one of the things to notice is that of all the men who are mentioned in this chapter, Enoch lives the shortest life on this earth. Perhaps that was God taking him out of the toil and the heartbreak of this world. But in Enoch, we have the promise of immortality given to us in the first book of the Bible. That there is still hope that we will not remain in death. He is taken by the Lord, and he resides with the Lord, in a sense, in a bodily resurrection. He is taken in his whole self, not just his spirit. Again, pointing to the promise of the bodily resurrection. And Enoch is not perfect, okay? He walks faithfully with the Lord. He's a faithful witness, but he's not perfect. And why Enoch? Simply because God chose Enoch. And one of this idea that Luther makes clear is that God does not comfort any person unless they're sad. And so also he does not give life to any unless they're dead. And he does not declare anyone righteous unless they're sinners, because God creates ex nihilo. God creates out of nothing. And so we are made righteous by what God declares. God chooses us. And then we end up with Noah, who is a promised child. And we'll pick that up tomorrow. Hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.